because the people in that department, it's just a reflection of thee and me. And I know it's very disconcerting to look at it that way, but that's the simple truth because of oneness. So here we are with this Scorpio energy. Now I'm going to give you a little information about the Scorpio energy. It actually runs from October 21st basically to November 21st, sometimes the 22nd, in that vicinity. And this is a very mysterious sign. It is the death sign, and the sign in which the battle must be fought between your soul and your personality. So I just find it fascinating that election time in the United States is consistently in this sign of death. But it is saying to you, and some of you are kind of nodding off thinking, I'm not a Scorpio. I beg to differ with you. You are at least 1/12 Scorpio. You're a being, you're a full universe. It would be like saying, I'm a person and I have no head. Of course you have a head. Some of you don't use it well, but you have one. So under this sign, here's the challenge. Will you allow your personality to die? This is very pointedly what I'll be speaking about Friday at this university. Can they allow their personality to die? Personality is nothing. The essence of you is everything. The personality I can actually I can have an opinion about, I can have a preference about it, I could even make a judgment about it. Then I could label you the devil or the angel. And the problem with Scorpio is there's no in between. So the Scorpio energy, it's the piece of you that is very opinionated, very sarcastic. It's the piece of you that holds a grudge. It's the piece of you that will have a resentment. It's the piece of you that will argue to the grave, literally in this case, that you're right and they're wrong. So that's why it needs to be transformed and transposed into that side which simply says, that's interesting. It's all as it should be. And you begin to put your sarcasm and judgments down. Last night while I was at this home doing the good deed of opening the door for little trick-or-treaters, they had inadvertently left the television on, thinking I would need the TV. That was very thoughtful. Well, the only thing I needed to understand was every station that I clicked to, because to me one was worse than the other, all that's spewed at the public, even if it's supposed to be a comedy, is hatred and barbs and let me see how much I can tear you down and ridicule you. What in God's... How did this happen to our people? I don't get it. Geez, mind-boggling. If anybody has a comment on that, please call in, because I'd like to think there's more than just me that is seeing this. I can't believe you've all fallen asleep and have become so hypnotized by it that you're not aware of the transformation that you have to make. The only way the TV stations will change is you don't watch it. The only way the Nestle company won't put out such junk, and dangerous junk is at that, you won't buy it. Well, at any rate, so there's an enormous battle being fought, and you know, we think it's being played out on television and in our governmental system. I wish it were that simple. This is being fought in your spirit. And I'm one who simply says, geez, I hope you take this time to die. And I say that with great, great love. Let these old coats and cloaks that are piled upon you from childhood, from when you're instructed subliminally to discriminate between November 1st and the poor suckers on November 2nd. Are you kidding me? Who looks at this stuff? Me. I do. Scorpion energy has a very strong sense of reserve. It's a very secretive energy. So that part of you that you hold secret, that's your Scorpio energy that you didn't think you had because maybe you're busy thinking you're a Libra or a Sagittarius. No, it's that different kind of energy. Scorpio is also considered the sex sign. Now, it's very interesting about this sex thing. On the low side, I had such a good article on that. I got to find that. Bear with me here. I thought this was terrific. Let's see here. All right. On the low side, the energy of the Scorpio would be connected actually to the Aries energy. That's the low side of sex. That's the feel good, want it now, and then it's over. Okay? Then there's the side that is the Taurian side. Sex for sale. And I have a feeling there's more of that in this country than my tender soul even wants to address. But the sex for sale, that's also the Scorpio energy. The Leo energy also gets in there on the low side with it's all for fun. And I'm sure many, many of you have had sex for fun. And it is fun. On the other hand, when you take sex into the Scorpio energy field, where it rightfully belongs, it is the single most powerful, most healing, most transformative act between two people. So you could see there'd be a lot of... Dear Scorpio gets a bad rap because all of the other aspects of it are often glaringly visible. But this one very sacred side that recognizes the opportunity to actually touch and honor and know the spirit of another human being. That's the true Scorpio energy. And that's where their perception and their power and the whole energy can make that come alive. So it's a really, really cool thing that they can use if they will. Scorpio is ruled by this Pluto energy. Now, I've spoken about Pluto a little bit in the past. With Pluto, we've got transformation on top of transformation. It is so palpable now with the Pluto energy. So regardless of what happens on Tuesday, regardless of who wins or loses, I really ask you to be very, very responsible. Responsible to yourself, to maintaining your point of discipline and harmony. There'll be no craziness. It's you learning to trust in life once again. Life does know what she's doing, believe it or not. We've come very far from that. We've been led down a garden pathway that, to say the least, is preposterous. So the Pluto energy, here's what it's bringing. It's divine design. So even that energy field has a divine design, like you do and I do. Its design is to reform all that's toxic and not authentic. In your life, it's actually expressed in the choices that you make. Are you going to invest in what's destructive, Is that the path you're going to take? That's the low end of it. That's the rioting. That's the insanity breaking loose. Are you going to invest, and this will be very prevalent after this coming Saturday, are you going to invest in the fear? That's why I mentioned the fear factor first. Half of the tribe is going to be very, very frightened about this outcome. Or will you insist with that piercing Scorpio energy to be a part of creating a brighter world, no matter who's there? The truth is, and if you haven't figured this out at this point, you're more under a stone than I am. But the truth is, it doesn't matter who's there. You've been in a body a long time. Nothing's made any difference. The only difference is going to be you. What are you ready to do? It's true what Kennedy said. Ask not what this country can do for you. Ask what you can do. What can you do not only for the country, do for you first. Do for you. Clean up your diet. Clean up the feng shui in your house. I had a girl, she's taken many of my classes up in the Jersey area years and years ago. She now lives in Manhattan with her husband, have 2 small kids, and she called on Saturday, and she sounded completely disoriented. And I was like, well, what's happening to you? Oh, I'm fine. You know, every time we say I'm fine, I think, oh, yeah. I label it, okay, another member of the fine family. None of us are exactly fine right now. We're a bit confused, dazed, glazed, and trying our very best. But she was really confused and dazed and glazed. And I said to her, well, how's the feng shui? I mean, she had actually studied with me. She goes, oh my gosh, it's awful. Everything is in disarray. The kids' stuff is all over. I've got bags piled. Stuff should be given away. Like, what happened to you? I mean, I knew her that well that this was not her MO. Dead silence for what seemed a long time. It was probably 30 seconds. And she says, I got hooked on watching the elections. I got hooked on watching all this stuff. I was like, oh my God. It was so glaringly evident that this thing had not only sickened her spirit, now she's got players in the household that are also sickened by it. The cure, incidentally, for her, and some of you, it'll be the same thing. If your house and your spirit looks like this, I said to her, you turn off yes, I did say, damn TV, go into the master bedroom, and you start immediately in the master bedroom. And again, this silence. And she goes, oh, things are really piled up. I said, take one pile at a time. I love you all too much to have you be sick. And if you don't care about yourself, I care about the kids in the house. You're making them sick. So Pluto, oh, good old Pluto. See, here, Pluto is in a sign for almost 30 years. I mean, it's a big ticket thing. So it's about halfway through Capricorn. And Capricorn rules the government and all things business and big business, which is why many of you have had to revamp your businesses. You've been in a state of flux perhaps for the last 7 years. Well, it's about Pluto. It's trying to shatter who the heck you thought you were. It's trying to help you shatter your ego and your personality because it's a prison. Your ego and your personality are prisons to your growth. And you cling to the prison bars like you're going to stop them from crumbling. Their destiny is to crumble. I want your prison bars to crumble. And that knower part of you wants them to crumble too. And it's uncomfortable. It makes you think. It makes you stop thinking. It has you go all over the place. And nothing feels right. Nothing's been right in my life for the past 7 years. It's like I grab for something and it crumbles. It's kind of been a remarkable